Hey all y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today we have finally reached the point of doing a products I regret buying. Thankfully, in 2019 and sort of end of 2018, I have been a lot more particular and specific about what I am investing my money in, which means we've got, less chance of something not working out for me. But even being the most careful, we can't plan for everything. There's gonna be some things that trickle through that just do not meet my expectations. Hence why we are here today to talk about them. This is not necessarily, this thing just totally sucked, though we do have some of those. But there are also some products on here that are gonna be like, well, they just didn't work for me, therefore I regret buying them because I could have bought something that maybe would have worked for me. Alright, let's start off with a foundation. I do not have it anymore. I do not have the makeup space nor the budget to keep certain things that do not work for me, especially complexion products. I feel like when it comes to like eyeshadow, blush, highlighter, and other things, you can kind of, work through it and get away with holding on to it, but when it comes to the base of your face, you can't mess around. And this is the Tarte Face Shape Foundation going on here, which wasn't necessarily a bad product. It was just something that did not work for my super dry skin type. I do believe if you're someone who has kind of like normaler to oily skin, this is something that would work for you because it was the best. It gave a very matte finish and it had a nice coverage. The color match was good, but I found that on me, it was just like here lines. It didn't wear well in like my dry patches. It didn't do anything wonderful for my pores or anything like that. It was just like, well, I have other matte foundations that are honestly less expensive than this that works so much better. I don't need to keep you, and I regret buying you because I'm still on the hunt for a Tarte foundation that works for me. Then we're gonna get kind of like a obvious one here. If you guys have been, on my channel watching my reviews and being wonderful return viewers, I love you all. The Kat Von D Vegan Love palette, that one, she went home, she went back to the store. That palette was just really, really underwhelming from a standpoint of someone who's been kind of waiting for Kat Von D to have her come back. I'm just like, all right, maybe the next release, maybe the next thing she comes out will, bring her up out of the gutter. And then to purchase that and to be like, no, this is not the salvation product. And then taking that into consideration with the fact that I've used, basically the same formula of hers, although some of y'all did say, well, she didn't say it was. I'm like, sometimes you don't have to say it. But her single shadows were phenomenal, and even just her other shadows. I mean, even just from her shimmer standpoint, and I wanted to say this, after I filmed the review, I was like, crap, I should have said this as well. This is, that formula is very obviously vegan, and I'm like, we know she can formulate a good vegan shadow because she did her Saint and Sinner, which had some amazing shimmers in it, and that palette is vegan. So I have absolutely no idea what went wrong into the creation of that palette other than she just doesn't give two whoops anymore. One product that I do still have, but it's sitting in like eternal timeout over there, is the James, Charles, and Morphe palette. This palette is what put the final nail in the Morphe coffin for me. Because you hear a lot of people, not just really big influencers, talking about, oh, I really like this product, and you're like, okay, I'll try stuff out. And then you try it out, and some products are like, okay. And then you try out this super hyped up 100 times sold out palette, and it makes you question your ability to beat the face. And I still, to this day, I don't know what I've done wrong to have that palette treat me in such a disrespectful way. I've tried using it in a couple myriad of ways. The shimmers are like, okay. I mean, I've got shimmers from high end and low end that I like better. The mattes, I mean, if I'm gonna be using a matte palette with bright colors, we've got Colored Rain, we've got Sugar Pale. Heck, I've got Urban Decay, and I've got bright single shadows from NYX that work better than this. I really regret it because I did buy it off of the Morphe site, which I didn't want to do. I didn't want to spend as much buying it as I did in returning it, and Morphe's not the best about giving you like total refunds. So that one is a very, very, very big and a very painful regret. I should have just left it alone. I shouldn't have kicked the hornet's nest, shouldn't have poked the bear, and just cut my losses already. But now my losses are entirely cut, and just for your information, you ain't gonna see. I mean, they could collab. Morphe could collab with my favorite person. Morphe could collab with the Messiah, and I would not purchase it. And while we're on like the whole like Morphe thing, how about them Jeffree Star and Morphe brushes? Now, in defense, well, kind of not in defense or whatever, pink ones are fine. You got the foundation one, you've got like the powder one and the blush one. It's like those ones are fine. Those ones are okay. They're probably overpriced for what you get. You can buy them singularly, but I don't see them being any better than like my Real Techniques or even a bunch of my Wet n Wild ones, which are much more affordable and are also cruelty free. But them white ones, the natural bristle hair, whatever, I absolutely hate those. The highlighter brush is probably the only one that I actually kind of use. No, I do use one of them. Oh wait, that was one of the pink bristle ones. The eyebrow brush, which has the pink bristles, but I do use the back of one of the natural hair ones. I use it like this to mix up my foundation on my hand, so I guess that kind of counts. I bought into the hype. I bought into the whole Jeffree Star touched it, so it must be gold. It'll be a great review for my channel. I'll get the views. And so now I'm a lot more wary about Morphe, which, you know, see last item. And I'm also a lot more wary about the things Jeffree Star touches. Next one is kind of a like, not necessarily because of the product, but because I'm a bad shopper. You guys would have seen a while back, and I know at least one of them was in a favorites video, the Milk Makeup, the holographic sticks, as well as the glitter one. I bought those. I really enjoyed them. Like I said, I featured, you know, one of them in a favorites video, and then they sat in my drawer like every other blinking cream highlighter I have ever bought. And why I regret it is mostly because, I mean, I should have known. I should have just been like, girl, you just want to test out the hype. You're not actually interested in a cream highlighter. I was in the Sephora and you're swatching it and you're like, ooh, it looks so pretty. And under them like hypnotic lights, it's like, buy everything. And so I got them, and kind of what the biggest regret thing is, if I wanted to just try them out, which is what I wanted to do, they sell little baby ones for like $14, whereas the full size ones are like $29 and $31. Could have saved myself some money, could have saved myself some hassle and got the little ones, but no, I'm gonna love these. They're gonna be great. I totally need the full size because I'm anal. Well, that turned out to be, I mean, I am anal, but buying the full size was really stupid. And I also used one of them under my foundation and it broke me out. So there's kind of a whole little bit of layers to the regret here. Another regret here going on. You guys would have seen my full face of Fenty Beauty. Now I did return these, so this is kind of a less painful regret. I mean, when it comes to, like I was saying, complexion products, I mean, I do not hold on to them. I'm just like, I can't jive with you. So the primer and the foundation went back to the store. Loved the concealer. And I understand some of y'all in the comments of that were like, well, why did you buy it if you know you've got dry skin and you're so stupid for buying it because, like, you knew what you were getting into? And I'm like, yeah, I knew what I was getting into. Just because I know what I'm getting into doesn't mean I shouldn't have the right or the opportunity to try a product. I mean, I've got other foundations like my Milani Conceal and Perfect, the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation, my Becca Matte foundation. I have other matte foundations that work fine on my Saharan desert face. So maybe, just maybe, this super hyped up foundation with 50 million shades and 1,000 billion undertones would work for me. That ended up not being the case, but you know, you never know unless you try. I did try using the foundation with like some face oil, with like hydrating primers, and no matter what I used, it camped out on my face like a bunch of people outside Walmart on Black Friday. And the fact that no matter what I used, no matter how I tried to dilute it or what kind of primer I tried to use, I tried using a brush to like apply it. It just, you put it on and you have like 2.5 seconds before it literally sets. And then it don't blend out no more. The primer was less offensive. It was just for such an expensive primer, I didn't see it doing anything wonderful to my complexion. Like, I mean, my Almay one, which eventually I'm gonna have to not be able to, you know, have anymore. But the Too Faced one, some Becca ones I have, you know, compared to other high-end and affordable ones that I have, it just didn't do anything. You know, I noticed my foundation, you know, creased a bit more. I was like, no, you're not for me. Then also not for me, two more affordable things, which I do have, but I don't feel like rooting around and finding, are, you guys wouldn't have seen me haul this, but you would have seen me attempt to use them in my full face of affordable makeup. Those e.l.f. highlighters. They look so good. And you're like, wow, this is going to be the most amazing $6 highlighter I've ever tried. And then you run your brush through it and you get nothing. I mean, I don't think these are a baked formula, and I know e.l.f. can make kind of good highlighters, so I'm not sure what happened with these. I mean, I guess I could try and scrape the top off of them, but at this point, there are so many other affordable highlighters on the market from so many different brands. I should not have to do that. So they were only $6, but that's, you know, $6 I could have invested in, you know, in Wet n Wild, in Model's Own, in Milani, in, you know, a myriad of other ones that would have given me a better experience. Then going into Wet n Wild, this is kind of a mid-regret. Like, it's not like, this is the worst thing that ever existed, but it's also not good. They're okay in conjunction with someone else. These are the Wet n Wild Liquid Lipsticks High Shine lipsticks, which, you know, if you've got a lip liner and you filled your lips in with lip liner, but you don't want a matte look, you want something a bit more glossy that's, you know, a lipstick, that works. Or if you're using them to top off a regular lipstick that you've already put on, or even a liquid lipstick, that's great and wonderful. But you cannot put these on their own and not have them like move around and feather and bleed, you need a lip liner or a lipstick already on your lips to keep these things in place. Which that's nice for photos and whatever, everything going on. But I mean, I feel like it's just a lot of work for kind of like, yeah, you know, and they're essentially a less expensive version of the Too Faced High Shine Liquid Latex lipsticks. So if you don't want to spend the money on those, you can go and try one of these. But I actually like the Too Faced ones more because I've used those ones without a lipstick or a lip liner, and they haven't done the feathering and bleeding on me. Alright, then the last thing I'm going to be talking about, this was in my February hits and misses, and I promise you guys this is the last time I'm going to be talking about this. I'm sure y'all are tired of hearing about it. You're like, look, it's happened, it's been done, it's in the past, let it go. But this is the Jeffree Star mystery boxes. Obviously, the products inside were fine, you know. I like a lot of his products. He has pretty good quality control. But the fact that he was not transparent with the service on a whole just created a very disappointing experience. I mean, if I had known that we'd be getting the same kind of thing, or honestly, if I'd known that we'd be getting just kind of pulling from the same kind of things overall, I know for a fact I wouldn't have got them. And from here on out, no matter the hype, unless I have like a written whatever that yes, we are going to be pulling from basically our entire inventory, which including limited edition products or even just his normal range of liquid lipsticks on a whole, he could make so many variations. I mean, you just put in random crap that equals up the value and you ship it out. It shouldn't be that hard. And I know some of you guys, I don't know if y'all were my subscribers or not, but some of you guys got a little salty with me and were like, well, what did you expect? That's what you get in a mystery box. I'm sorry, my experience didn't jive exactly with you, but as for now, and as for me in the future, we will not be doing mystery boxes, and we will especially not be doing Jeffree Star mystery boxes. Alright, y'all, that is it for this edition of Products I Regret Buying. I don't necessarily, I mean, I do enjoy doing these kind of videos. I enjoy creating most content. I don't enjoy having to, you know, not like something and regret buying it to having to do this. You know what I mean. Obviously, let me know what you think about these products. If you think I'm totally wrong, off my rocker, how you use them. And let me know something that you totally regret buying, that you think is either trash or just didn't work for your skin type. And thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. And as always, keep it real. Mwah!